Hello and welcome to the new episode of the podcast. So what I'm going to do today, this is where the magic happens, I hope, is start writing the script. So we've got the treatment, we've got an overview, we've got Matt and I have discussed generally about the tone and the kind of humour and all of that kind of stuff. So I had an idea for scene one. I had it in the shower the other day and I just kind of kicked it around a little bit. It's fun to just come to these things, when you're bored or you want something to think about or whatever. So I've got the scene fairly well developed in my head. I just want to get it down on paper or on the screen, before I kind of lose it. Because if you start writing from notes, you kind of lose the impetus and the inspiration. So just to let you know, setting the scene, it's, it's 8:38 in the morning, it's Tuesday morning, it's the school holidays, so I'm on holidays, my wife's awake, kids are still in bed. I'm sure this will not be an uninterrupted session, but that's normal, that's life. So anyway, so I'm sitting at my desk and I've got my computer in front of me, and I just realised before I came out here, I haven't written a screenplay since Honeysuckle Way, and I was writing that probably about 2013 or something. So I've finished my first novel and written two other novels in the intervening time. So this is the first time I've written a screenplay, and I just had to go back and think about, well, how did I used to do it? And I know there's dedicated screenplay software out there, which I might look at getting, but just now to get this scene down, I'm just going to use Microsoft Word. So I'm just bringing that round on my computer now, and I'll look at maybe some dedicated software. My favourite word processor is WordPerfect 6 for DOS, but screenplays are quite heavily formatted, so I won't use that at the moment. Okay, so on my screen it says Office Word 2007 configuration progress. This is because I've just got Office 365 on here, and I think it's overwritten my older version of Office, so maybe I need to click on the Office 365. We'll just see if it wants to open up. This is riveting stuff, isn't it? Sitting here listening to someone waiting for Microsoft Word to boot. And I do recall with Honeysuckle Way, when I was writing that, I'm just scrolling down here on the Windows taskbar just to find the Office 365. So anyway, I developed what was kind of like a shorthand style. Because I don't have this dedicated software, you just need to get the ideas out as quickly as you can, and so it's kind of like a shorthand description, and then you go back through and do the formatting. So I know Office 2007 is booted up, so it's on my right hand screen. Just drag it over to the left hand screen in front of me. So, and I'll just enlarge it up to about 100%, 196, so it's kind of dominating the whole screen. WordPerfect's better, the old version, because it's a cleaner format. You just presented with a blank, nice screen that's easy on the eyes. I've got this glaring white looking at me now with a billion things in the ribbon at the top. So I've got to cut all of that out, and the idea in this first scene is it just introduces us to the character. So we need to get to know what he's like, and it's a very interesting character because he's got to be ultimately likeable, but he's got to be a bit of a knob at the start. So, but he's someone who comes good, but we can't hate him too much. So we've got to set the scene for the character a little bit. And the idea I was thinking was, it starts off, start of the day, him in bed, asleep, the alarm goes off, and the DJs are making some joke about time to wake up, losers. And then the other DJ says, you can't call them losers, blah, blah, blah. And so I can't even remember the character's name that we had for him. I don't know, let's call him Glenn. I'll look it up, see what it was. But anyway, so Glenn, inverted commas, wakes up and just kind of looks at the radio and goes, oh, you losers, or something. I mean, he wouldn't say that, that'd be too corny, but, he's just not happy. He's kind of, they're tryhards. He's, I guess he's sensitive to, he doesn't suffer fools easily. So he, says something, throws something at the radio or whatever, gets up. Then he goes out to get the news. So he puts his dressing gown on. He goes out the front drive to get the newspaper. And And I had the idea of someone delivering the newspaper trying to hit him with it. So he wanders out, he looks around, the newspaper's not there. Then we cut to inside the car. There's these two young guys driving along. And one says to the other, "Oh, he's there, see if you can hit him." So the other guy picks up the newspaper, sort of roll up, pegs it out, just misses him. It lands kind of on the driveway in the garden next to him. And then Glenn looks up, and his neighbour is to the side. And the neighbour can be like he's just about getting his car to go to work. A BMW, young guy in a suit, maybe he's got a Bluetooth phone connection on or something. And he just says, "Why do you even get the newspapers now anyway?" So there's a bit of an ongoing thing between these two. And you know what, let me look up what his actual name is, because I can't keep calling him Glenn. George, maybe Glenn's better. Glenn, George. Okay, let's call him George anyway. Actually, I think I like Glenn. Glenn. Okay, so Glenn. Hang on, I need to go back to my other Word document. It's not going to let me do it now. So you know what? I opened the other one and it closed down my blank document, so I've got to reboot. Okay. So the neighbour says, makes a joke at him for being a bit older. What do you even read newspapers for anyway? You get everything you can get. Everything in the newspaper you can get online for free. And so Glenn just turns to him and says, I only get it because it's cheaper than toilet paper. and then the neighbour goes, "So you're the one who clogged the sewage in our street?" And then Glenn stops and goes, No, that wasn't me. That was Mrs. Richards when she tried to flush your dead cat. And so then we cut to the shocked look on this guy's face. Then across the road, some old lady, Mrs. Richards, who just doesn't know what's happening. She just waves kind of nicely, but she doesn't know what's happening. And then Glenn walks back in and goes, "Yes!" And kind of reveling in the bad joke he just made, while the other guy's standing out there going, What is it? What happened to my cat?" So that was the idea for the first scene. So I'll write that down. It's probably going to be a bit boring listening to me type that out. So anyway, we'll give it a go, and I'll probably fast forward this, so there'll be lots of if it sounds boring. So that was the idea for the scene. Hopefully it's as funny as I think it is. Okay, so I should just start typing that. Okay, right. So, geez, all this business about mourning and all that kind of stuff, exterior, interior. I don't number the scenes at this stage, so we'll just go, but I do need headings. I can't even remember how to do this, it's been so long. So, caps lock on, int, Glenn's bedroom, morning. Hopefully I've got all that layout correct. It's the default. I don't like this font, Calibri, but anyway, we'll use it for the moment. Int Glenn's bedroom, morning. Glenn is lying in bed asleep. We see his clock radio click over to 6 a.m. and then first character description: loud, obnoxious, DJ1, DJ number 1, wake up losers. Now I haven't, this will get centered at the moment. It's all just left justified at the moment, so I'll go back through and center it later. I mean, the aim at this stage is just to get the ideas out and just do the rudiments of the formatting, but not to get bogged down in the actual formatting. That's why actual dedicated software would be good, because it would just automate all that. So I'm just kind of putting things which I'll then go through later and kind of center and lay it out correctly. Loud, obnoxious, DJ1, wake up losers, rise and shine. Wake up losers, rise and shine. Then DJ number 2, laughing, so in brackets, laughing. You can't say that, that's how wood is. That's our audience. You can't say that. That's our audience. And so then direction. Glenn throws his Duna cover back. Duna cover back and groans. Okay, so loud obnoxious DJ1. So what I'll do is I'll just copy that heading. Control C. Loud obnoxious DJ1. Wake up, losers, rise and shine. DJ2. You can't say that. That's our audience. DJ1. They know I love them. They know I love them. Turn it up. They know I love them. Turn to get up. Now, question, where is Glenn's clock radio? Is it next to his bed or is it across the room? I think it's next to his bed and he whams his hand down. Oh, shut up. No, we don't. They know I love him. Okay, so Glenn. Shut up. Shut up. You're kidding me. Glenn, shut up. You're kidding me. Glenn. Oh no, what's the rule here about capitalisation for character names when you use them in the stage directions? It's script directions. I can't remember if you capitalise every character that's in the scene or just the first time we see him in the. I think it's every character that appears in the scene. That's when they're easy to pick out. I'll find that later, so I'll capitalise that right now. In fact, I should have done that at the beginning when I said Glenn is lying in bed. And this is what I'm talking about with too much formatting. Kind of drives you crazy. Or worrying about it too much. Takes away from the creativity. Okay, Glenn, shut up. You're kidding me. Glenn slams his hand down on the clock radio. Gets up. On the clock radio and gets up. Not happy, but nothing unusual for him. But this is nothing unusual for him. So it's setting the scene for people who read the script as well as people who watch the film. So I know I've kind of learnt the hard way. The more I tend to focus just on story and dialogue, characterization, but the more descriptive stuff you put in the script, the more the audience can imagine it, and the reader can imagine it, so it becomes more like a film when they're reading it, and the more helpful it can be when you're filming, of course, as well. Glenn slams his hand down on the clock radio and gets up, not happy, but this is nothing unusual for him. Okay, this is nothing unusual for him, so now we need to get him out into the driveway. How many scenes do we see before that? Let's just go over this. Glenn is lying in bed asleep. We see his clock radio click over to 6 a.m. Loud obnoxious DJ. Wake up, losers, rise and shine. You can't say that. That's our audience. Glenn throws his Duna cover back and groans. They know I love him. Time to get up. Glenn, shut up. You're kidding me. Glenn slams his hand down on the clock radio and gets up, not happy, but this is nothing unusual for him. I think we just cut straight to his front door, exterior, Glenn's front driveway, Glenn's front yard, morning. So there'll be I kind of break down the scenes based on the location, but obviously there'll be one little bit near his front door as he comes out, then another little bit on the driveway, but they're all in the same location in the front yard. Excuse me. So Glenn's front door opens. Glenn's front door opens. He is wearing... Yeah, see, I've got to do like a visual pass because I should probably describe his front yard in that first at some stage too, but I won't do that just yet. We'll just get the scene out and then we'll do that in the next pass over it. Glenn's front door opens. He is wearing... he's got to wear... I just see him in a dressing gown. I don't know why he's wearing a dressing gown. Probably because it's a bit self-aggrandising. He's wearing a dressing gown over his pyjamas. and wanders out to find his newspaper. Okay, now here this is, and wanders out to find his newspaper. So I don't think we need to introduce the neighbour yet, but we can have the kids in the delivering the newspaper. 1, 2, 3. Okay, interior newspaper delivery car. Newspaper delivery car. What should we call these guys? Jack and I always find it hard coming up with names. Trev and Kev. Trev and Kev. Okay, so interior newspaper delivery car. Trev. Sorry, capitals. Trev and Kev. Hang on, I've got Trev and Kev. Trev and Kev are doing the morning run. Doing the morning newspaper delivery run. They are too. What should they be? They've got to be. They can't be too young because they wouldn't take on an older guy. But they've got to be. They're two guys in their early 20s. two no-hopers in their early 20s. They are two no-hopers in their early 20s. They spot Glenn as they drive along. There he is. Okay, so now we've got Trev going. There he is. So there he is. So Trev. There he is. Okay, so Trev can be the one in the passenger side. Kev's driving. Trev, there he is. So put Kev, then in brackets, driving the car. See if you can get him. There he is. See if you can get him. So the car approaches. The excitement. The car approaches. Trev winds down his window. Trev winds down his window. The car approaches. Trev winds down his window. The excitement level of the two boys increases. In the two boys increases. So then Trev goes, slow down, need a good shot at him. slow down, I need a good shot at him. Need a good shot. Oh, you know what? He'd have a coffee. That's what he'd have. He'd have a coffee. Yeah, that's right. And maybe it almost spills the coffee, but he goes, didn't even spill it. Okay, so let's just go back up. Glenn's front door open. He's wearing a dressing gown over his pajamas and carries a cup of coffee. He wanders out and carries a cup of coffee. He wanders out to find his newspaper. Newspaper means one word, isn't it? Okay. Slow down. I need a good shot. It's like a drive-by newspaper. They can say drive-by newspapering. Kev can say that, drive-by newspapering. Slow down. I need a good shot at him. Drive-by newspapering in 5. That's what I'm remembering. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3. Drive by newspaper. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Trev throws the newspaper really hard. Trev throws the newspaper really hard. The boys giggle and drive away quickly. I'm going to laugh. The boys laugh. The boys laugh and drive away quickly. Trev throws the newspaper really hard. The boys laugh and drive away quickly. Now, at this stage, I need to save this because I haven't saved it. And what happens? I don't save it. So let's just call it. Just chuck it on the desktop. I'm setting all this up. It says intglen.docx because they're the first words. Let's just call it 10 letters script. And I haven't even put a title page and all that kind of business on, so we'll do that shortly. Oh, in a while. Trev throws the newspaper really hard. The boys laugh and drive away quickly. Okay, so now we need to cut back to exterior Glen's front yard morning. 1, 2, 3. Excuse me. Oh dear. Exterior Glen's. Sorry about the coughing. You can't catch anything over a recording. You won't get near infection, I promise. Okay, exterior Glen's front yard morning. Okay, Glen just stands there. Glen just stands there as the newspaper sales pass. Paper sales pass and lands in the garden next to him. So then goes, didn't even hit me, didn't even spill my coffee, didn't even hit me, didn't even spill my coffee, didn't even hit me, didn't even spill my coffee. We then see the neighbour. What can the neighbour's name be? Mr. Pratt. James Pratt. Just looking at bird books I've got here, names on them. James Shields, Francis. Okay. Pratt, because he's a Pratt. James, because that name's just there. James Pratt. Now I've got this friend Patrick. Hi Patrick, if you're listening. Every time he writes a script, he always goes, Joe Bloggs, 30, youngish, red hair, or something like that. He puts in these cool little descriptions. I should probably do that. James Pratt, late 20s, yuppie-ish. Yuppie-ish. Is that a word? Yuppie-ish. Yuppie-ish. Wow, spell check says it's okay. James Pratt, 20, late 20s, yuppie-ish. James Pratt. James Pratt, late 20s, yuppie-ish. Hang on. So we need to go. Glen's neighbour. James Pratt is about to get his bin. Glen's neighbour. James Pratt. So James could probably be everything. Glen's not. He's young. He's good looking. He's actually making lots of money and all that kind of stuff. Glen's neighbour James Pratt, late 20s, yuppie-ish. Yuppie-ish is about to get in his BMW, but has seen BMW, but has seen the whole incident. Okay, so James goes, I don't know why you even bother. Why you even... I don't know why you even bother with that. Reading the newspaper, you can get online for free. Glen wanders towards him with the newspaper in hand. Glen wanders towards him with the newspaper in hand. Glen says, I only get it because it's cheaper than toilet paper. I only get it because it's cheaper than toilet paper. James pauses for a moment. James pauses for a moment. James, you're the one. You're who blocked the sewage, and you're who blocked the sewage in the street. You're the one. You're who blocked the sewage in the street. Clean stops. No, that wasn't me. See, writing the headings slows you down every time. But they could all be copy and paste kind of thing. Glenn stops. No, that wasn't me. That was Mrs. Richards when she tried to flush the dead cat. She tried to flush a dead cat. James looks aghast, glances across the street to Mrs. James. Looks aghast, glances across the street to Mrs. Yep, the capitals, I guess. Mrs. Richards, an elderly lady. He gives a coy wave, completely unaware of what is happening. James looks aghast, glances across the street to Mrs. Richards, an elderly lady who gives a coy lady who gives a coy wave, completely unaware of what is happening. James looks aghast, glances across the street to Mrs. Richards, an elderly lady who gives a coy wave, completely unaware of what is happening. Glenn walks in, laughing to himself, reveling in the joke he's just made. Right. Excuse me. Okay, so that is scene one. Bit of an introduction to his character. Now the next thing is to ring Matt. And just tell him I'm going to send it to him. Dear. Okay, so it's winter. I'm just getting over a bad cough that I've had for a while. Okay, so let's just read through this. Interior, Glenn's bedroom, morning. Glenn is lying in bed asleep. We see his clock radio click over to 6 a.m. Loud, obnoxious DJ one. Wake up, losers, rise and shine. DJ, you can't say that, that's our audience. Glenn throws his Juno cover back and groans. They know I love them, time to get up. Shut up, you're kidding me. Smashes the clock radio down. Glenn slams his hand down on the clock radio and gets up, not happy, but this is nothing unusual for him. Glenn's front yard morning. Glenn's front door opens. He's wearing a dressing gown over his pyjamas and carries a cup of coffee. He wanders out to find his newspaper. Interior, newspaper delivery car, morning. Trev and Kev are doing the morning newspaper delivery around though. Two no-hopers in the early 20s. In their early 20s. Two no-hopers in their early 20s. They spot Glenn as they drive along. There he is. See if you can get him. Car approaches. Trev winds down his window. The excitement level in the two boys increases. Slow down. I need a good shot at him. Drive by newspaper ring at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Throw the newspaper really hard. The boys laugh and drive away quickly. Glenn's front yard morning. Glenn just stands as his newspaper sails past and lands in the garden next to him. Didn't even hit me. Didn't even spill my coffee. Glenn's neighbour, James Pratt, late 20s, yuppie-ish, is about to get in his BMW but has seen the whole incident. I don't know why you even bother with that. Everything in the newspaper you can get online for free. Glenn wanders towards him with the newspaper in hand. I only get it because it's cheaper than toilet paper. Jeremy pauses for a moment. You're the one who blocked the sewage in our street. You're who blocked the sewage in our street. Glenn stops. No, that wasn't me. That was Mrs. Richards when she tried to flush a dead cat. James looked aghast, glances across the street to Mrs. Richards. An elderly lady gives a coy wave, completely unaware of what is happening. There should be a friend. He gives a friendly wave. Completely unaware of what is happening. I just typed that. Nothing happened. Friendly. There we go. Friendly wave. Completely unaware of what is happening. Glenn walks in, laughing to himself, reveling in the joke he's just made. Okay, yeah, so that's good. Now, I'm not going to do it now, but I do need to do just a bit more of a visual descriptive pass, just describe what his house is like, what the garden's like, maybe a bit what he's like, and just format it, so just centre the names and the dialogue, that kind of business. Put a front page, title page on it. But we're up and away, so I will just pause this while I go and get my phone, and we'll give Matt a call and just tell him that this is on its way. Now, I've been going at this for half an hour, so obviously I can write quicker than I can do it if I'm talking, and it'd be terribly boring listening to this non-stop. So anyway, I'll just go get the phone and we'll just see what we can do, see if Matt's there. But anyway, so I hope you're enjoying this little insight into writing the script. There'll just be lots of... we're going to pass the script back and forwards to each other, but there'll just be lots of instances where we have ideas for scenes and we just write them out and then kind of refine them between each other. So obviously we won't be recording every single time we write because that would be so boring. But anyway, okay, I'll just go get my phone. Okay, so I'm outside now. I've got my phone. What is it? It's 9:10. It's actually quite a pleasant morning, even though it's a bit cool. So I've come out here to get reception on my phone. There's a whole lot of birds around. It's nice morning. So I think Matt's at work this week. So anyway, we'll just see if we can get him. I'll just put this on speakerphone. I suppose there's a way to record phone calls more technically than that, but anyway, where are we? Matt. So hopefully he's there. If not, doesn't matter. Right. It is ringing now. Say we're going to get his answering machine. He doesn't answer.
The person you are calling is not available. Please leave a short message and it will be sent as an audio message.
Hey Matt, it's Scott here. I was going to record you for our podcast talking because I've just written just a little first scene, or what could be the first scene in the film. So give me a call back. I'll email it to you anyway. And I've recorded all this for the podcast too. So right, mate. Hope you're well. Talk soon. See you. Bye. Okay, well, there we go. So, I don't know when he'll get back to me. Obviously, he's got a bit on. So, hope you enjoyed that introduction to script writing and the first scene in the film. Thank you. Bye. And I've just got a text message from him, and it says, "Sorry, dude, in a meeting." Is there something witty I can reply to that? Probably not. Okay, righto, so we'll leave it at that. And I'll just say, let me know when I can call you back. Okay, righto, well that's it. End of podcast, bye.